Hello everybody and welcome to my third video. I'm probably going to stop saying what number video this is after this one, but this is my third video from the poll I did on my YouTube channel. And this one won. It was apocalypses I could survive, possibly. We'll see, in a tier list form. So like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. So for starters, I need to stress what I am starting with. And towards the end, we'll have some dystopias, and I'll mention when we're getting into the dystopias. But, I'm gonna not have any starting stuff, just like my house and whatnot. But for the apocalypse survival stuff, what I'm going to do is say I have these things. Number one, I have a gun, an AR-15 with a red dot sight, which is in my house. I have ammo for that. We'll say 2-3 boxes of ammo. I have a tarp, so we'll say 30 feet of rope, paracord. I have a machete, and I have 3 days of unrationed food and water. That is what I'm starting with, and my car with a full tank of gas. That's all I'm starting with for each of these things. Now, some of these things might cancel out one of the things, which you'll see in a minute. But after that little intro of what I have, I don't know if I stressed this earlier, but I do have a machete. I didn't know if I said that earlier. But let's get into this video, and we are starting with the most common apocalypse type thing, nuclear bomb, nuclear wasteland. So, for this one, it kind of depends. Well, no, it doesn't depend. So, I'm cooked, probably. You know what? No. So, essentially, the fact of the matter is, it's going to be very hard to survive this. So number one, I have to survive the actual nuke, which I'm probably not going to survive. Then I have to survive the radiation. I have to survive the nuclear winter. I have to survive so many things, okay? So my car's cooked, my house is cooked, I will have nothing. This incident strips away all my starting gear. All my starting gear is gone just from the nuke. If I somehow find a bunker, and I get in some kind of a bunker, I will not be able to go to the surface for years. I am gonna put nuclear wasteland in cooked. There's nothing I can do. For the other things, I'll give you a brief rundown of my plan for this, but there's not that much I can do in a nuclear wasteland. I'm cooked. I'm just cooked. Whether I die in the bomb, the actual bomb, whether I survive for a little bit, I'm probably going to die from radiation, and then afterwards, there is a nuclear winter. I am done for. Moving on to another one of the more commonly known things, we have the zombie apocalypse. So in the zombie apocalypse, what I am going to do is I am going to grab all the stuff that I previously mentioned, my starting equipment, and I am booking it. I am getting out of the population centers, and I am getting as fast as I can to some desolate, stranded, middle of nowhere, possibly actually a national park. Find a national park, get to the middle of the wilderness. Well, national park isn't exactly the middle of the wilderness. But I'm getting into the woods where I can set up some kind of temporary shelter, and later I can possibly find something that I can defend. Find probably on like the top of the hill, uh, set up a highly defensible position for the zombie apocalypse. And then from there, I will hunt my food, consider assuming, okay, it depends on the virus. So if the virus only targets people, we're going to say, for the sake of argument, it targets people only. It does not target animals, and we're going to say it's just your normal zombies. Like, they have no special effects. It's just normal zombies. Um, you know what? If I can get my defenses up, if I can get to the woods before things get out of hand, speed is going to be of the essence here. I don't know. It all depends on how fast I get to the woods, how fast I can set things up, and then from there I can probably live. If I can get my setup, I'm going to put it, you know what? I'm going to put it 50-50. I might survive, I might not survive. I might become a zombie. It depends how. I can always just blast them in the head. We'll see. It's a 50-50 on that one. Next up, we have the Death Angels from A Quiet Place. I am probably living this one because if I can get my hands on a JBL speaker, that's all I need. I can just pop their heads open with speakers. Just pop, 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 pop. Their heads are going like balloons, dog. And you know what? For the full American vibes, we might be playing like the Star Spangled Banner on this puppy. Their heads are going boom. Like at the yeah, their heads are going boom, boom, boom. All I need is a speaker, which I can probably get. Why they didn't just rig up a speaker to a car and start driving around, I have no idea. But all I need is a speaker, and we are blowing these puppies up. They are cooked. However, this all dictates on me getting a speaker and getting a vehicle that can possibly survive them, because they will one-shot me. If I don't get my speaker, I am cooked. No, I'm not cooked. I might survive though, but probably not. Um, but yes, so that's what I'm gonna say on the Death Angels. I need to get a speaker, and I need to get in my vehicle, and I'm just gonna wait. I could hook up like a defense system around my house of speakers, so if they come up to my house, I just start blasting sound at the right frequency, and then they just all die when they get to my house. Or like there are so many possibilities on killing them. I am putting it in probably living. I'm probably living through the Death Angels, because if I can get that speaker, I'm thriving. If I don't get the speaker, though, I might survive, but probably not. But yeah, I'm probably living. Next up, we have frozen wasteland apocalypse, where everything is frozen. It's permanent winter. So the biggest struggle with this one is going to be finding food. And I might be able to find food relatively easily, uh, depending on where I'm at. So I'm not going to say exactly where, but I am in the southeast. So a lot of animals, southeast United States. I'm probably going to, most of the wildlife around here is not used to winter. So unless if I get to like the mountains, then we get some snow in the mountains. So I am going to say, for I can get water. You can melt the snow and get water, although I don't think it's recommended, but you can do it. Um, okay, you can do ice too. So ice, I have my water check. Trees, we do have pine trees and other trees that will survive the winter. Therefore, I can get wood for fire and therefore heat. So my biggest issue is just going to be food. And the animals will adapt over time to the cold. But I can get some deer in the woods. So here's what I'm going to do. The plan is, we'll say it starts snowing day one, right? And I somehow miraculously know what's happening. I am going to go to a national park. No, not. I gotta get off the national park train, bro. The national park isn't gonna do anything for me. Uh, I am going to go to the mountains, and I am going to find like some desolate Appalachian mountain, and I'm going to find like a cave or I could get a dead tree or just a massive log and lean it up against some rocks and make a A-frame kind of with my tarp and rope. And then from there on, I will get a fire going as soon as possible so that I don't freeze to death. And then what I need to do is I need to uh, get my food. I need to keep my water near the fire so that it doesn't freeze. I need to find some way to preserve the food. Well, it's cold. It's freezing cold. So I'm probably going, so that will keep the food okay. I will still be keeping all the food and water near the fire so that it doesn't exactly freeze to death. Not freeze to death. But so that it doesn't freeze. And then from there on out, I'll, yeah, that way it doesn't freeze. And then that will be my camp for then. And then I'll try and upgrade it as need be. I'll probably end up putting like some movement traps with the rope to alert myself of if people are there. But yeah, so that is the plan, and I'm going to put it in probably living in the frozen wasteland. If I can get that fire. The fire is going to be essential for this. If I don't get the fire, I am absolutely going to get hypothermia is also going to be a big thing. So another thing that I'm probably going to end up doing is I'll start making paths eventually through the woods to where I need to go, like rivers, hunting areas. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Next up, we have the EMP. So essentially, what you can do with a nuke is you can fire it into the atmosphere, and according to this one book, awesome book, 1 Second After, the EMP wave from the natural, there's always an EMP wave after a nuke. So the EMP wave can, if you shoot it into the atmosphere, it amplifies the nuclear bomb's EMP radius, and then, hypothetically speaking, 3 nukes could take out the entire United States electric grid and all computers, electronics in the area. So that would set us back like 100, 200 years into the past. Yeah, it's a nightmare. I gotta get out of the population centers. Once again, the population centers are going to be an absolute hellhole very quickly. People aren't going to realize at first, but what's going on. But eventually, they'll start to catch on. Okay, the power's not coming back on. We have no communications. So what I am going to do is, here's the thing: all cars have a little computer in them that help them run. That is, all cars made after like 60s, 70s. All of those cars from the 60s and 70s and before, they'll be fine. But most people don't have cars from 50 to 60 years ago. So my car is probably cooked. My communications are probably cooked. But here's the thing that we are going to need to do. We are going to need to pool resources. This is going to need to be a community thing. Because if you just run away, you can run away and live by yourself in the woods, but also, to some extent, you need a community for this one. Because it's hard. You're being thrown into something that you have no experience with, and that is no electronics. Nothing. There you will have absolutely zero electrical devices at all. And statistically speaking, on the East Coast, 80% of people will die over the course of a year. It's bad, especially if you live in the mountains. You're not going to want to go to the mountains. It's going to get really cold and really crowded. Really crowded. I'm going to put this in Might Survive because it is hard. But my game plan is somehow getting to a easily defendable position where I can set up a little community of me and my friends and my family members. But that one's really hard. I don't think we're quite in the cooked area yet. Not quite in cooked, but we're close to cooked. It's almost a cooked. Almost a cooked. Next, we have a societal collapse. And this one is, I am going to once again try and get away from a population center. We're going to say one day all world governments collapse. They go completely bankrupt and countries fall apart. We won't have power or running water for that long because they won't be being paid for, which means they will collapse shortly. This one is going to be tricky, but there's no twist to it. This one is very bare bones. It's just You have to survive a world where there is no society, where there is no government to help you. You have to be able to live on your own and provide for yourself and your community, your family members, etc. That is the biggest problem with this one. So it's going to be similar to the zombie apocalypse one, because pretty fast you're going to have groups of people roaming around and killing people for their supplies, because chances are they're going to need, everybody is going to be panicking. They're going to need food, they're going to want water, they're going to want everything that you want. And you're going to have to make some tough decisions and shoot people, probably, which is where the gun comes in handy. And a lot of people are going to die in this one. But I am probably, you know what, 50-50. It's 50-50. I could die. Yeah, no, I'm probably living. I'm going to, actually, you know what, I'm moving Winter Wasteland to 50-50, and I'm putting societal collapse in probably living. Next up, we have an AI takeover. And this one is one of the more likely ones to happen at this rate. It's up there. I think it's up there with nuclear war. Like, it's likely to happen. I hate to get political on this, but it is likely to happen at this rate. So, the fact of the matter is, it's an AI overthrow. So we're going to say there are robots involved in this. We'll say they essentially have guns. They can connect through the internet. They're in the internet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get away from the internet. And the most likely scenario is, let's say I get away from all internet. I have no internet. That's going to be hard. That one's going to be really hard. I am going to put AI overthrow. It might survive. That one's really hard, though, because they have robots, they have the internet, they have maps. They actually have so much at their disposal from government devices. They have access to every government file. That's scary. They have access to almost anything, and they are going to kill us off pretty fast. Like, it's not going to be very easy to kill off this army of robots. Alright. So, from here on out, it is Dystopias. I was going to make a separate video of Dystopias, but then I realized, wait, I don't actually know that many fictional dystopias, so I decided I am going to bunch this all up into one video of apocalypses and dystopias. But that is what we're doing with this. Yeah. And we are going to start off with a capitalist, endgame capitalist society. So corporations run everything. Everything is corporized. It's not going to be that hard. I'm probably going to live. I know I have Avatar showing up for this, and that is because it is a late-stage capitalist society. It says so in the beginning of the first movie. Yeah. capitalist. It's not that hard. The biggest thing I have to do is have money. Like, everything is going to be like subscription based or whatever. They're probably going to have a subscription for everything. Like, we're already getting there. Like, the United States is probably going to have a subscription for healthcare in, like, within 15 years. Like, oh, you didn't pay for your monthly subscription? I guess you're going to die from cancer. I guess you're just going to have to deal with it, I guess. Yeah, that's probably what it's going to be like in 20 years or whatever. Um, Moving on to the next one, The Hunger Games. So I had a huge talk with my mom and my brother about this. Would I survive the Hunger Games? Yes, I would. I would survive the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games, it's not that hard to survive. All you have to do is not volunteer, not take the tesserae, which is like you get food, but your name goes in the bowl more times than everyone else. If you just don't do that, you'll survive. There are hundreds of people who have their names in there. The chances of you getting picked out of this crowd of children is not that high. It's really not that high. You will survive if you just don't get picked. That is the best way to survive the Hunger Games. It's one boy and one girl. You're gonna survive. It's not that hard. Except maybe if you're in certain districts with not a lot of people. And if you do get picked, yeah, you're probably gonna die. But unless you're that one person, unless if you're blessed, unless if you is predestined that you survive or whatever the crap you want to say. Walk in the park. That's what I'm gonna say. Cause guess what? I know how to hunt, so I can be like Katniss, and I can live off the woods. Because guess what? I might be doxing myself with this, but I would be in District 12. I nerded out for a minute and looked it up. I would be in District 12. Therefore, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm probably gonna survive that one. And you know what? I'm not even probably surviving. I am surviving. I am surviving and thriving in the Hunger Games. Next up, we have 1984 by George Orwell. Um, so here is the thing. If I am one of the mass of people who are indoctrinated by the party and Big Brother, then I am going to survive. That's the fact. I'm probably going to survive because I'm probably just going to do along with them. If I know what is going on, though, I'm probably going to either die or I am going to be brainwashed. So I'm going to put this in 50-50. This one is kind of this one has some nuance. Not nuance. Well, maybe nuance. I'm not. This one is tricky. This one is a little bit tricky. Because it all depends on whether or not I am indoctrinated or if I kind of know what is going on. Um, so yeah, that is the end of this tier list video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. This was a polled video. I do polls once a week to see what y'all test the waters, see what y'all want. In the future, if you want a video click on the one you want. I try to listen to the polls, although occasionally I might end up popping out a video that wasn't on a poll. Occasionally, if it's something I really want to do. But please like, comment, subscribe. If you skipped to the end of the video, all I gotta say to you is frick you.